Hi, everyone. My name is Littell Solomon Reeves, and I couldn't let Women's History Month pass without talking to someone who I admire as a phenomenal Black woman, and that is Simone O'Leary. Now, I've known Simone for about 10 years, and when I think of Simone, I think of Black excellence. She's a successful businesswoman, community leader, mom, and a great person to have in your life overall. Simone has a great story, and I think it's important to share, especially during Women's History Month. So, without further delay, let's get right into it. Let's get into 5 questions with Simone. Simone, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing great, Littell. Thank you. I'm very honored.
Of course, we've known each other for like 10 years, as I mentioned, and I've always known you in the capacity as a realtor. And you helped me find like two beautiful homes, which I absolutely love. But when I was looking at your bio, you have an extensive career. And this all happened before you became a realtor, and currently you own your own business. So, for our audience today, give us a little bit about your background and how it shaped you to be the person that you are today.
I would love to. I actually am a proud Jamaican.
Oh,
Jamaican
yes.
heritage, was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica. I actually came to the United States when I was 11 years old. I am the product of a single mom who worked her tail off,
Mm-hmm.
and she instilled in me the need to do the best that you can do at anything.
Right.
She worked, no job was too small or too large for her. So just by watching her, I was
Mm,
actually able to get all of the things that I needed to be a successful realtor, business person, entrepreneur. She set the standard. And
wow, that's great.
with that, I was able to apply and get accepted to an Ivy League school. So I am a Cornell alumni. Go
Woo!
Big Red. And Cornell taught me my competitive spirit.
Mm,
Um, it taught me how to have that backbone, how never to give up. It created the independence that I wanted and I was looking for. And it gave me the foundation to being a successful entrepreneur. So after graduating from Cornell, I had a very successful career with
mhm.
Xerox Corporation as an account executive. And I wasn't satisfied enough with just being an employee. I
Mhm.
always had that bug. And so the natural thing for me was to be the entrepreneur. And
Mm.
that gave birth to my real estate career and ultimately to being a broker and an owner. And with real estate, I grew through the ranks. I was an agent to begin with. I then became a broker of a top franchise. I was the first African American owner in that franchise and one of the largest companies in the Northeast. Um, it was amazing. It actually set me up to be in the successful individual that I am and to be able to serve our community at large. So it's it's been an incredible journey. No regrets, and looking forward to actually doing that indefinitely.
And that's so interesting that you mentioned that you're from Jamaica. I actually, was heavily influenced from someone from Jamaica. Actually, my grandmother, Lattell Edwards, my namesake, is from Jamaica. And I owe so much of my success to her. And she instilled in myself and my mother that the hard work, the ethic, I still hold today. And that's why I drive the way that I drive. And I'm always involved in community efforts because to her, community was so important. And I just got that from, my immigrant grandmother who came here and just built a life for herself. So I can that totally resonates with me. And, as a real estate broker, I was looking at your bio, which I was quite impressed. If you won several awards for your work, and even the Phenomenal Woman Award from Kiss FM, which I was totally impressed by. So, throughout your success, you always stay true to your commitment, and that commitment is to bring home ownership to underserved and minority communities. Why is that so important to you?
Yeah. Latel, it's so important to understand that in order to gain financial independence, it starts with home ownership.
Right.
And so many in our community didn't realize that that was actually an attainable goal because they were never taught. So once I had the information, it was my goal to make sure that everyone that wanted to achieve that dream had the information and the tools that they needed to be able to get there. And whether that meant doing it right away or it meant educating them and taking time to get to that ultimate goal, I never gave up. That was my dream, because in order to leave a legacy of home ownership, it has to start somewhere.
That is so true. Yeah.
And it has to be where it's attainable. And for most of us, it is attainable. We just didn't know how. So it was my goal to make sure that anybody that I was in touch with knew that it was within their reach. And it was just a matter of beginning the process.
And speaking from my experience, I think I met you when I was I in my early 30s or mid 30s? I'm aging myself here. I really didn't see myself, in all my success and working in corporate America, I really didn't see myself as a homeowner. And when I was working with you, I saw the possibilities and it just opened up my world. So I really thank you for that, Simone. I think that it's important that we do let, people, especially in the Black and Brown community, know that this can be attainable. And if you just break it down into easy steps, you too can, own your own home, because we really need to set the next generation up for success. And home ownership is one of the ways that we pass down generational wealth to the future. So, I commend you.
Yes. Thank you. And you're absolutely right. If you look at most of the successful people that there are, their wealth was either made by real estate or by investing in the stock market. We have it within our reach. It's just a matter of taking advantage of what's out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So speaking of community work, I'm going to take a little pivot and talk about your community work. I know in 2006 you founded the Simone O'Leary Foundation, which helps Black and Brown high school seniors give them a scholarship to further their education to higher ed. And I think that's important to share, especially with this audience. So tell us a little bit about that foundation and how we can support you in your efforts.
Okay, great. When I started the foundation in 2004, it was really just a personal thing for me. I wanted to be able to give back to aspiring college students what was given to me. And so I started it with just a book scholarship. Whenever I heard of someone that was going on to college, I would just write them a check. My accountant saw it differently. He said, sure. Let's go ahead and legalize this. Let's make this into a nonprofit. Let's expand on it. Let's get the community involved. And that's what we did. So since 2006, we have become a 501c3. We have given out well over $50,000 in scholarships. We've made the process very easy because it should be easy.
Right.
And it's personalized. So we get out to the communities, the students that apply to us, every single application is read by one of our board members. And we make sure and look at everything, not just grades, not just SAT scores, but we look at the whole individual. And we want to make sure and reward our students for their efforts. And the community as a whole has really taken advantage of this and ran alongside us and have helped us with their donations. And because of them, we've been able to really expand our giving. So every year, we put our application out on our website, which is the Simone O'Leary Foundation.org.
Okay.
And we encourage our seniors to apply for these scholarships. We go into the community, we go into the high schools and speak to the director of the guidance department, make sure that they put the information out there. We also reach out to the community at large, let them know about the foundation, let them know it's easy to do
Mm-hmm.
that. All we need is for them to go online and apply. In addition to that, we have also added a boys mentor piece to it, which
That's
will be
so important. Mm-hmm.
yes, which we look forward to launching this year in 2021 and working alongside other successful Black men to
Mm-hmm.
be able to be a mentor for our young men so that they can realize their full potential. So again, it's important as a community that we come together because this effort is community based.
Right.
All our funding is really through the generosity of individuals who realize our vision and want to come alongside our vision. So I encourage anyone that is interested in either having their sons mentored or being a part of helping to increase our donations to our scholar recipients to go to the Simone O'Leary Foundation.org.
Yeah, that's amazing work that you're doing. Just one question. Is this just in New Jersey or is it expanded to other states?
Right now, it is for New Jersey students,
Okay.
but we hope to be able to expand to other states as we get bigger.
Yeah, and programs like these are so necessary. And, I commend you for the work that you're doing. You're also doing community work within South Plainfield. And as everyone knows, 2020 has been an extremely challenging year, between dealing with COVID and the social and racial unrest. The Black and Brown community has had a lot to contend with. And during this time, we were all thinking about how we can make our communities a better place to live, more inclusive. And I know this because I live in South Plainfield, you got together with some of your neighbors to form the Alliance for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in South Plainfield. Tell us a little bit about that organization. What do you see the organization will accomplish this year and within the future?
Well, as most of America, I was extremely distressed with
Mm,
what was going on last year.
right.
And I couldn't sit back and do nothing. And so I decided at the time that why not speak to other residents, speak to my neighbors, find out how they're thinking. What do they want to see that will change in our town? And that gave birth to the Alliance. And we are committed to making sure that we bring diversity and equity and inclusion to our town. We have a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful town that's changing, and we need to be more diverse. We need to have more diverse curriculum in our
Right.
school. We need
Mm-hmm.
to be more educated about the different cultures within our town. We need to embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
So, the goal of the Alliance and everyone that's involved in the Alliance is really to come together to bridge the gap that exists right
Right.
now, both in our schools and in our community. So, together with the other individuals, we are trying to make a marked difference. And we're starting small, but we
Mm-hmm.
hope to expand where our curriculum has changed, where our cultural awareness has changed, where we're more involved in what's going on within our communities, in the political realm as well, and where we're seen and
Right.
not just in or on the sidelines.
Right. No, and that's incredibly important, especially in this moment where, we're so fractured and there's, a lot of divisive, conversations going on. We really need to kind of support and help our communities become more inclusive and more diverse. And I'm so thankful to be working on the committee with you. Thanks for inviting me to the group.
Thank
So,
you.
we're almost at the end of our 5 questions with Simone. And, again, I thank you for taking the time out to meet with you. I just have one last question for you. As I mentioned in the opening, when I think of Black excellence, I think of you, Simone, and I truly mean that. And, you have something that people call gravitas, which is, grace under pressure. And as a Black woman, a Black professional woman, I really admire that about you. So, what advice would you give to girls and women in the Black and Brown community that want to follow in your footsteps?
The best advice I can give is follow your heart.
Mm,
We all have something that we're passionate about. And oftentimes we're really scared as to realizing that passion we feel in that, but you have to overcome that fear. So I would encourage any young lady, any young man, follow your dreams. Do not stomp on that passion. Share it.
mm,
Share it, because there may be someone else that's looking to just hitch on to that wagon as well,
right.
and just looking for you to be the one that started. You'd be surprised as a community what we can do together. So, whatever that passion is, whatever that fire is in your soul, go for it. Listen to it. And before you know it, you'll be the one that's making a difference. It has to start somewhere, and it can start with you.
I absolutely agree. Thank you so much, Simone. Again, thank you for your time. This has been a great chat with you in celebration of Women's History Month. As I said, I really admire you and I really admire the work that you've done. And I'm so happy to be able to share your story with our Facebook audience. Again,
Thank you.
and I look forward to working with you to make an impact in our communities.
Thank you, Littell. It's my pleasure. Looking forward to it.
Bye bye for now.
Bye now.